what we have on the board is question 9, okay? And there's some deserts in Africa for some reason. Enjoy. No idea why. Something about wallpaper or something. Now, anyways, here it is. And it's a quadratic function, okay? Now, first thing I'm going to ask you is g of x an injective function, yay or nay? What's the test for injective function? How many times does the horizontal line hit the graph usually? Usually, it's only meant to hit it once if it's injective, but what happens? It hits it twice. So what do we say? The horizontal line will hit it more than once. It's not injective. Is that okay? It's not injective. So not injective for the reasons I spoke about. Okay, is g of x a surjective function? First of all, I have a question for you. Is a surjective function as it stands without any restrictions? Does every horizontal line hit the graph at least once? What about this horizontal line up here? That means the codomain is not busy because there's a y value that's not used up. It's not surjective as it stands. Alright? But if I reduce the outputs, or if I reduce the range to y less than 0, what does that mean? So if everything below this zone doesn't matter, sorry, if everything above this zone doesn't matter, is it now surjective? It's surjective because every horizontal line hits the graph at least once, or the other way of saying it is that the range and the codomain are the same. Every y value you could have, you will have below 2. It's going to go all the way down to minus infinity, isn't it? It's going to go down forever. Suggest a restriction on the domain to make gx an injective function. What does injective mean again? Okay, have an idea. Pretend you're rubbing out part of the graph. What part would you like to rub out? We go for some tip x. Alright? And what happens if I just do this? How much of the line's left now? Isn't it? It's every horizontal line's only going to hit it. So what type of what type of x values is that? X. It's actually the opposite. It's actually x less than or equal to 2. Likewise, what other answer could I have given you? Yeah, I could have painted this part out here. Could have got rid of that part, and now it's back to being. It's back to being injective again. So the other answer could be x is greater than or equal to 2. I'm going to pause it here. Now, so what I've done here is question 9, and now I'm going for 13. Alright. Carl, you good? Alright. We have a sine function that goes up and down. Okay? Is it injective? Why is it not injective? Each horizontal line will hit the graph more than once, right? So that's grand. Does the graph represent a surjective function in a given range? A surjective function. I think it is, because in the given range shown, every line hits it at least. Oh, wait. What does in the given range mean? I think the given range means minus 1 to 1. I would specify that. I would say if the y values are fixed to minus 1 being less than y less than 1, this means that every x value has a y value in that range, therefore the function is surjective. However, if there wasn't a restriction on the range, and if I drew a line up here like so, Is every y value does every y value intercept the graph? No. So it will not be surjective unless the range is limited to -1 to 1. Does that make sense? So the answer is takes a bit of debate there, okay? So what they mean by given range is -1 to 1. Suggest a restricted domain so that the function is injective. Alright, Charlie, give this a go. Where would you like to make this injective? Where do you think this point is? If that's 2 pi, what do you think this is? It should be, shouldn't it? Yeah, it is pi. So what happens if we just take, once again, what happens if we get the old tip x out and we just say this part and we just get rid of everything else? So what range is that?
X is equal to 0 less than pi.
0 less than x less than or equal to pi. That would work, wouldn't it? All good? Okay. Alright, awesome. Question 14. Is f surjective? Oh, read the language really carefully. X values are allowed to be negative and positive. How do I know that? How do I know that x values are allowed to be negative and positive?
Real numbers.
Real numbers. Y values are only allowed to be positive. Why is that? Modulus. Modulus means any negative number will turn into a positive number. So example, what's the modulus of -7? What's the modulus of 7? Exactly. Negative y values are impossible. Okay? And because it's restricted the y values to have to be positive. This means that this graph is surjective. Why is it surjective? Every horizontal line possible hits it at least once. A horizontal line down here doesn't, but why doesn't that matter? It specifies that the y values are only allowed to be positive. Is that okay? Is f injective? Yay or nay? Nay, because each horizontal line hits it. Some of the horizontal lines hit it more than once. Is that okay? Suggest a restricted domain to make f bijective. What does bijective mean? Injective and surjective. Perfect 1 to 1. Which part would you like me to tip x out? It's your choice. Which side? Tip x out to left. So what are we saying? X bigger than or equal to 0. Is that right? And therefore y has to be bigger than or equal to 0 for the range. Restricted domain, restricted range. It's bijective. Okay? Alright guys, I just did 9, 13 and 14. Suppose you guys should go for 8, 10, 11, 12 and 15. Finish it for homework.